Cool. So this is Cole, one of the guys on my peak performance coaching program. He's agreed just to do a quick word about how kind of his progress and how he's been getting on. So firstly, thanks for doing this tonight. And the first thing I really want to ask you is kind of, can you tell everyone where you were kind of at before we started?
Before you and I started our
Yeah.
work, yeah, I was completely burnt out in a corporate job in the financial world. I was completely unsure how I was able, should tackle my life. I was completely lost. I kind of felt like I had, inner conflicts about basically everything. Like I wanted to go travel, but I didn't want to just quit. I wanted to focus on getting in shape, but that was just running away from dealing with the real problems. So it was just like focusing on nothing and everything all at once. And being the harder I fought, the deeper I sunk down to the quicksand.
And where did that burnout kind of push you?
Yeah, I just realized I've been fighting for a long time. I'm not getting out of this on my own.
And what were kind of the biggest changes you wanted to make when we started?
First of all, when we started, I was on sick leave because I was sent home by a manager due to panic attacks and burnout. And talking to a doctor, I knew I was going to go back to work, and I didn't I didn't feel prepared for it. I didn't know if I wanted to do it. I didn't know. Yeah, I had zero clarity, basically. So what I wanted was basically to get clarity of the whole situation. Where should I start digging here? What do I need to tackle first in order to get my whole life back on track? And obviously the job situation was the first one out, I would say, because I was really stressed out that my confidence was completely broken. I was scared something went permanently wrong with my cognitive abilities, something along those lines.
Yes, I can remember kind of the first time we spoke, you were just kind of spiraling. And it was just kind of mental and emotional breakdown.
Yeah.
And where would you kind of say you're at today? What's kind of been the biggest changes for you?
I feel like I have direction. I have definitely consistency. So I feel like I'm on track with, I've automated how I work out and how I eat pretty good. It's not perfect, but it really works. So I don't really need to think about those things. Those are on track. Then I'm in a situation where I have a plan and a strategy. I'm just in the middle of some kind of big decisions right now, but I do feel like I'm back on track. I'm grounded, so I'm able to make decisions or take appropriate action. And right now, I'm kind of in the middle of some big decisions. So I don't know how much I can really say about it, but I feel confident that I put myself in a position career-wise now that either way I win. It's just a matter of how good my strategy is, how much I win, I would say. So overall, pretty good.
And how would you kind of say you're feeling mentally compared to where you were when we started and kind of today?
Oh, it's a completely different world. I'm grounded now. I have stability in this. If I get stressed out or I, in some sense, lose it, I know how to just sit down, breathe it out, instead of before I could go through days of just creating stories in my head that I knew wasn't true. But after a few days, they were true in my head, and I could, do self-sabotaging things. break up with girls. I could spend money on things I probably shouldn't have. Happened that I drank too much. So yeah, like right now, I work out basically every day. I didn't have that consistency before. I'm 50 days straight on my meditation using Headspace, which is pretty good. I'm back at work. Yeah, I feel pretty confident moving forward from here. And we're only like halfway in.
That's what like kind of excites me, because if we kind of look at where you were, and I think a big one we've kind of missed is kind of the issue sleeping and all the anxiety and all of that. And it's just, for me, it's been like awesome to see this turnaround.
Yeah. Like I had insomnia for almost 2 years, back and forth. Like I could never, like I never had a week of decent sleep. Like when I had decent sleep, it was because I had no sleep at all 2 days before that. And all of that just adds up to the inconsistency of everything. And you don't know where to start to just get in control of all of this. So yeah, I've had massive insomnia, and we got that on track extremely quickly, I would say. Like, got it on track before I went back to work, so I could have that as a foundation. So yeah, it's been going really good.
And one thing I did want to ask you, what were kind of like your biggest concerns about kind of joining the program? Because I know at first you kind of had some worries, like, is this going to work? Am I going to invest all this money and waste it? What was kind of like your biggest kind of worries in that sense?
Oh yeah, I had a huge worry around that one, and it was actually like, I just knew, like, this guy sits in another country, and what if I pay him a large amount of money and then he's gone or he doesn't exist? Like, I was scared of look like a fool. Basically, we're all scared of look like a fool, but we need to like push through that. But I was really scared, and I think that has to do with kind of programming from my family and stuff. My dad has always been like, the most shameful thing is to be tricked into something. So I could really feel that thing, like something really pulled me, like, I need to pull the trigger on this. I need to do this. And so I was like, I need to just make sure that this is real, basically. So yeah, I had real worries about that. Yeah, because I've never had a coach like this before or anything. Like I tried out therapy, didn't work at all for me. Like,
and while we're kind of on the topic of the coach, what do you kind of think it's been like working together? How have you kind of felt about it? Or what's kind of been your experience, like positives and negatives?
Like, I've struggled a lot with impatience. So for a very long time, I was walking through the days going like, okay, this is going good, but we can go faster. We can go faster. I can handle more. I can handle more. But I also knew that, like, well, probably need to be a little bit patient here. So overall, like, results wise, it's already exceeded my expectations. I would say I did not think that I would like be this wouldn't be this like emotionally grounded, because at the time when you lost in that and anxiety and stuff, you focus too much on the actual you focus on superficial results. Like, could this mean that I can make like more money, or could this mean that I like gain 10 pounds of muscle, lose 10 pounds of fat pretty quickly? Those superficial things. You don't really think about what it would be like to be more grounded and just happy. But that fuels everything else. Like the other superficial, like those things come and go. Like this is the important thing.
That's awesome. And that's what kind of means the most to me, because I know when we kind of started, I made a lot of these big promises. I was like, we're going to do this. And because you were kind of like, oh, I don't want to be made a fool of, it's kind of, yes, it's kind of now you're at that point where it's real, which is the important thing.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you kind of want to add?
Yeah, thank you. And I actually wish I did this earlier than I did.
No, that means the world to me. And like, it's been a privilege to be on this journey with you. And the thing that excites me most is we're just getting started. Like you've made this shift, we build the foundation, and now the whole world is ahead of you. And yeah, I can't wait to kind of see what's next. So thanks for kind of doing this. I appreciate it a lot.